Testosterone stands as the fundamental anabolic hormone in bodybuilding, serving as the primary driver for muscle growth, strength enhancement, and athletic performance. While natural testosterone production in healthy adult males ranges between 3 to 10 milligrams daily, competitive bodybuilders often employ doses that dwarf physiological levels in pursuit of maximum muscular development. A weekly dosage of 1,500 milligrams represents the extreme upper echelon of testosterone. Use a territory inhabited only by elite competitive bodybuilders and accompanied by extraordinary anabolic potential alongside severe health consequences. At 1,500 milligrams per week, testosterone enanthate or cypionate delivers an overwhelming androgenic and anabolic stimulus to the body. This dosage represents approximately 20 to 30 times normal physiological production, creating an environment of extreme protein synthesis and nitrogen retention. The muscle-building effects become immediately apparent, with users reporting rapid increases in lean mass, sometimes exceeding 2 to 3 pounds per week during initial cycles. Strength gains follow similarly dramatic patterns, with lifters frequently adding significant weight to major lifts within short time frames. The mechanism behind this explosive growth involves multiple pathways. Testosterone at this dosage massively upregulates the body's protein synthesis machinery, while simultaneously inhibiting protein breakdown. Satellite cell activation reaches peak levels, allowing for enhanced muscle fiber recruitment and hyperplasia. Glycogen storage capacity increases substantially, leading to fuller, harder muscles with improved endurance capabilities. The hormone's effects on red blood cell production create a significant boost in oxygen carrying capacity, delaying fatigue during intense training sessions. However, these dramatic anabolic effects come with equally dramatic consequences. The primary concern at this dosage level becomes estrogen management. Testosterone aromatizes into estradiol at a roughly 5% conversion rate, meaning 1,500 milligrams weekly could theoretically produce 75 milligrams of estrogen, nearly 100 times normal male levels. This creates an immediate risk of severe gynecomastia, with breast tissue development occurring rapidly without proper pharmaceutical intervention. Water retention becomes extreme, often adding 10 to 15 pounds of fluid weight and creating dangerous blood pressure spikes. Aromatase inhibitors become absolutely mandatory at this dosage, with most users requiring 1 milligram of anastrozole daily or 25 milligrams of exemestane every other day to maintain estrogen in tolerable ranges. Even with these measures, many bodybuilders still struggle with estrogen-related side effects, frequently requiring additional medications like selective estrogen receptor modulators to manage stubborn gynecomastia. The delicate balance between estrogen control and maintaining some estrogenic activity for joint health and lipid metabolism becomes increasingly difficult to maintain. Androgenic side effects reach their zenith at 1,500 milligrams weekly. Sebaceous gland activity goes into overdrive, frequently causing severe cystic acne across the back, shoulders, and face. Those genetically predisposed to male pattern baldness often experience rapid, irreversible hair loss, or body hair growth accelerates noticeably, while facial hair may develop at unprecedented rates. Perhaps most concerning are the psychological effects. Roid rage becomes a genuine concern at these dosages, with many users reporting uncharacteristic aggression, irritability, and emotional volatility. The cardiovascular system faces unprecedented strain under this testosterone load. Lipid profiles become disastrous, with HDL cholesterol often plummeting to single-digit levels, while LDL cholesterol skyrockets. Blood pressure frequently enters dangerous hypertensive ranges, with readings of 150/100ths becoming commonplace. Hematocrit levels routinely exceed 55%, creating blood viscosity concerns that dramatically increase stroke risk. Left unchecked, these factors create a perfect storm for cardiovascular events, with myocardial infarction becoming a genuine possibility even in young athletes. Hormonal suppression becomes total and absolute at this dosage. The hypothalamic pituitary testicular axis shuts down completely, with luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone production ceasing entirely. Testicular atrophy occurs rapidly, often reducing testicle size by 50% or more within weeks. Sperm production halts completely, creating a high likelihood of temporary infertility that may persist for months or years after. Discontinuation. the body's dependence on exogenous testosterone becomes nearly total, with natural production potentially never fully recovering, even with extensive post-cycle therapy. Liver enzymes frequently show marked elevation despite testosterone's reputation as a liver-friendly steroid. While not directly hepatotoxic like oral compounds, the metabolic stress of processing such massive hormone doses still impacts hepatic function. Kidney strain becomes another concern, with increased protein metabolism and altered electrolyte balance creating potential renal stress markers. The endocrine system as a whole operates under extreme duress, with cortisol and thyroid hormone levels frequently showing significant disruption. Psychologically, users report a roller coaster of effects. The initial weeks often bring tremendous euphoria and motivation, with workouts reaching new intensity levels. However, as time progresses, many experience worsening mood disturbances, including anxiety, depression, and emotional lability. Sleep architecture becomes disrupted, with many reporting severe insomnia despite physical exhaustion. Cognitive effects sometimes manifest as brain fog or short-term memory difficulties, particularly in older users. The long-term consequences of sustained 1,500 mg testosterone use paint a grim picture. Cardiovascular damage accumulates silently but surely, with autopsy studies of long-term steroid users showing advanced atherosclerosis even in young athletes. Prostate enlargement becomes nearly inevitable, with many users developing benign prostatic hyperplasia symptoms by their mid-30s. Hormonal dysfunction frequently becomes permanent, leaving users dependent on testosterone replacement therapy for life. Perhaps most tragically, many elite bodybuilders who employed such regimens in their competitive years later report severely diminished quality of life, with chronic joint pain, cardiovascular limitations, and endocrine dysfunction plaguing their post-competitive years. Recovery from such extreme usage proves extraordinarily difficult. Post-cycle therapy often requires multiple compounds, typically a combination of SERMs, HCG, and sometimes even low-dose aromatase inhibitors, administered over several months. Even with perfect protocol, many users never fully recover their natural testosterone production, frequently settling at suboptimal levels that leave them feeling chronically fatigued and depressed. The psychological addiction to the on-cycle feeling becomes another major hurdle, with many users struggling to accept their natural physique after experiencing pharmaceutical enhancement. In the professional bodybuilding world, where such dosages are regrettably commonplace, the toll becomes evident in competitors' declining health markers and reduced lifespans. The sport has seen numerous high-profile deaths in athletes' 40s and 50s, with autopsy results frequently showing combined cardiovascular and organ damage consistent with long-term anabolic steroid abuse. Even among living retirees, many report multiple heart attacks, joint replacements, and chronic health issues stemming from their competitive years. For non-competitive bodybuilders, 1,500 mg of testosterone weekly represents an unjustifiable risk. The marginal gains over more moderate dosages pale in comparison to the exponential increase in health risks. Even among professionals, an increasing number of coaches and athletes are advocating for more moderate approaches that prioritize health and longevity over extreme short-term gains. The tragic irony of such extreme testosterone use lies in its self-defeating nature. While the initial gains appear spectacular, the long-term consequences ultimately undermine the very physique the user sought to enhance. Cardiovascular damage reduces training capacity, hormonal dysfunction saps energy and motivation, and joint deterioration limits the ability to push heavy weights. Many users eventually find themselves trapped in a cycle of needing increasingly aggressive pharmaceutical intervention, just to maintain a fraction of their peak condition.